We've been able to get together a really diverse group of people representing all the different perspectives and life experiences of the City of Westminster to help us meet this once-in-a-generation challenge.
Everybody's understanding that they came here differently. Everybody is from a different community, a different background, a different surrounding, whether it's their own house, whether it's their family, whether it's the people in the area where they live.
And it's really important that we find ways to work together when we are tackling the climate crisis. And it's part of that kind of spirit of togetherness and cooperation, which is part and key to our Fair Westminster agenda.
So I'm here to talk to you a little bit about basics of the greenhouse effect.
So we have a really significant challenge. And the other really notable point is that 86% of the emissions from Westminster come from the energy used to heat and power our buildings.
I was invited today as an expert speaker carousel, and I was talking about the topic in my community, so barriers facing community action on climate change. It's been such a brilliant experience. I've met some amazing people, had some really great questions, really challenging, really inspiring questions. And it's been great to hear people on the tables pick up the importance of community action on climate change.
Quite interesting because it's complicated to me and I'm learning stuff as I go.
I think my favorite part was the speaker carousel because I got to talk to a lot of different experts and a lot of different activists and ask them a lot of questions.
Climate change is disproportionately caused by the most affluent in society, and the impacts of climate change are felt disproportionately on the poorest in society.
I don't want my generation, nor the next generation, to inherit an Earth that is damaged, but which is often misrepresented as a distant problem.
It's not just the council, it's really about the activation of the people using and living in the residents, the organisations. Everyone has their part to do. But it does need to be bold, it's action.
We will not get to net zero if you don't take account of the fact that our climate is changing and will continue to change and get more extreme until the world gets to net zero emissions.
I believe the efforts that Westminster has put in today probably would lead them to a beacon of environmental stewardship, bringing all citizens together to have a viewpoint on the climate action plan.
It's so important that everybody listened and respected other people's views. And I think that was great.
So I've really enjoyed my day today with the Westminster Climate Assembly. I found it inspiring to be with people who are from all walks of life, who aren't climate activists, but who are seriously engaged with an issue.
We're looking forward to hearing recommendations from a really diverse group of residents. We have 50 residents who've been working really hard, understanding the barriers to net zero and to ways that we can overcome them.
Empower communities and businesses to work together to build a sustainable and resilient environment that fosters a healthier and greener way of life.
What I have learned is we've seen a lot of diversity in the room and how different people have different thoughts and how they have different opinions as well, and getting everyone together on a table and discussing, that's really been a very good learning experience.
I am an advisor at the United Nations focusing on climate.
A contractor for Islington Council for greening projects.
I'm in charge of Climate Ed.
Head of Sustainability at New West End Company.
I think the value of including community voices when it comes to the issue of tackling climate change is that you get to hear a range of perspectives from people with different lived experiences, different backgrounds. We're obviously shaped by our environments, and getting to hear such a range of voices and opinions helps form a robust solution that's fair for everyone.
And it's really important to have residents buy-in, but also residents helping to shape and actually help tell us what the best solution is for their local area and how we can go about doing it.
And so with these recommendations that we get from the people who volunteered their time, we're taking them forward to present them to the leader of the council and the rest of the cabinet, and then we'll incorporate them as much as we can into the new and refreshed Climate Emergency Action Plan at the end of the autumn.
My experience has been really, really great. From first week where we were crystallizing some of the ideas and coming up with a vision statement, to arriving in the second week to all the principles that we laid down, and then funneling it down to some of the recommendations.
To be honest, when I was first asked to be in the Climate Assembly, I was quite cynical about it, and I worried that it was a PR opportunity and a typical kind of political stunt to say that something was being done. But actually, very quickly, once I got involved, I realised it was quite serious, and I've been very impressed.
It's been a really good experience, and I've come out my community's done a lot doing this, so I just want to say thank you.
Fascinating in all sorts of ways, and just to everybody else who's in the room, how much I've enjoyed meeting and working with everybody over these 2 weekends. It's extraordinary that I haven't actually managed to work with everybody at any point on the tables, but there's some people I've got to know quite well. So anyway, yeah, to everybody, thank you very much.
I think it bodes well for this format being potentially able to be used to address other questions that really affects our city, that really knotty problems. By getting such a diverse range of people together and getting them to think about issues in this way has a lot of potential, and we're going to look to see how we can build on it in other ways going forward over the next few years.
We heard from feedback at the end there how much everyone's enjoyed it. They've asked if they can come back, keep being involved. They've asked for ways to help us out even more. And so if that isn't a success, then I don't know what is. And I look forward to us doing a lot more of these going forward.
Honestly, from your heart, thank you so much. I will miss you and miss all of you. Thank you.